Hello and welcome to Buddy Peller and Field here in Pittsfield, Massachusetts for today's MIAA second round varsity baseball playoff matchup. It is the Pittsfield Generals hosting your Abington Green Wave. We are all the way on the New York border. It's the 11th seeded Green Wave against the 5 seeded Generals. Ryan Solomini will start things off with a pop out to the catcher in foul territory, and there's one away in the top of the first inning. I'm Mad Dog Matt Nelson, bringing you all the action from 3 hours northwest of Abington High School. Ground ball back to the pitcher, who has some trouble with it. The throw to first is in time regardless, and there's 2 away. Cam Cooper chopping it back to the mound. Here's Pat Cummings. Cummings, the Green Wave's right fielder, looks at strike 1. Offering and swinging through. It's 0-2. Pittsfield's ace, Roshan Warrior, threw a complete game in the first round. Pittsfield the win over Upper Cape. This is Cam Hilliard, who finds the outside corner, and that will retire the side. 1-2-3 in order to go the Green Wave in the top of the first. We're going to step aside, take a quick break, and when we come back for the bottom half of the first inning, we'll meet the Generals lineup and the Green Wave defense. Here we go on the bottom of the first inning. It will be Ben Jacob leading things off. Jake Duquette will bat second for the Generals. Nick Brindle hitting third. Maury Freed is the cleanup hitter. Roshan Warrior, the designated hitter, steps in fifth. Jack Abel sixth. Jack Reed is batting seventh. Jason Cody eighth. And Connor Devine is batting ninth. They will face a very familiar Green Wave defense. First and foremost on the hill doing the pitching today is Steve Madden. Cam Cooper behind the plate doing the catching for him. A.J. Nash at first. Jake Centrella at second. Henry Rogers is at shortstop. And Colin Crocker is at third. The bunt was squared by Ben Jacob, and he got hit up high. And now Coach Praxel is saying that he never pulled back the bunt. That should be a foul ball. It does not look like he's going to win the argument. Still pressing his case. So it's Colin Crocker at third. Ryan Solomini is in left field. John Sellen in center. And Pat Cummings is patrolling right for Coach Steve Praxel's Green Wave. First base runner of the day. Here's Jake Duquette. Ground ball right back to second base. Centrella had an opportunity at the double play ball and safe at both first and second. Say the 2 base umpires. Both plays were close, and the Green Wave can't get anyone retired, with Jacob moving up to second base. 2 on, no out for the Generals in the bottom of the first inning. Here's Nick Brindle, the shortstop. Brindle sends one to deep left field. It's deep. It's back. It's going to go off the fence in the air. Solomini chases it down. 2 runs are going to score for Pittsfield, and they are up early. It's a 2-run double for Nick Brindle. Got all of that one. A very short porch here in Pittsfield. It's only 325 down the left field line. And as you saw on that last play, a very short, unstable fence out there in the outfield. 2-0 Generals. Still no out here in the bottom of the first. Abington in an interesting situation. John Sellon started the first round matchup. He went the distance and hit the MIAA pitch limit. Henry Rogers was behind him and is still eligible to pitch today. Green Wave have a lot of depth. This one fouled off to the backstop. The 0-1 from Steve Madden. Curveball comes in high. One, another motion ball. That one misses low and away. Abington High School, located 154 miles away from Clapp Park here in Pittsfield. And this will be a walk to put runners on first and second, and that's going to bring Coach Paraxis out to the mound. His first visit out today. Green Wave had to leave school early for all the non-seniors. The bus left at 12 noon. All this for an MIAA second round matchup. These kids are going to sit on a bus for about 6 hours today during a school day due to the MIAA's few-year-old new statewide format. So here is Roshan Warrior, the designated hitter. 2 on, no out. 2 runs already across the bottom of the first for Pittsfield. Bunt squared, sent down the first baseline. And there is the first out of the inning. Moves the runners up on the sacrifice. Now it'll be Jack Abel, the second baseman. The lefty. Try to push a couple more runs across. With 1 away. Two balls, no strikes to Abel. First base vacant. Swing and a miss. Madden gets him with the heater. And there's the second out. Madden comes back with a strikeout. And there's 2 away for Jack Reed. Reed, the first baseman, backs Solomini up a couple of steps and left. On 1 to Reed. A lace to Rogers. He catches it, and that will end the inning. A nice play by the future St. Michael's College Purple Knight at shortstop. That will minimize the damage and send us to the top of the second inning. Pittsfield has the lead. It's 2-0 here in the MIAA second round. Steve Madden, the pitcher, will try to help his own cause, leads off the top of the second. He will be followed by Henry Rogers and A.J. Nash. Cam Hilliard back on the hill for his second frame of work. 1-2-3 in the first inning with 1 strikeout. Madden takes one over the outside corner. 1-1. Pittsfield home to a Futures Collegiate Baseball League rival, the Brockton Rocks. That one takes a tough hop off of the lip of the grass. The throw over to first is good, and a nice pick at first base by Reed to retire Madden. Here's Henry Rogers, Pittsfield's son, a rival of the Brockton Rocks of the Futures Collegiate Baseball League. That could be the only connection Pittsfield has to the South Shore of Massachusetts. Rogers offers an off-speed pitch. Couldn't slow down just enough for it. And he's down 0-2. The pitch from Hilliard. Curve just missed the outside edge. Generals wearing their black jerseys, white pants, white numbers and lettering. Green wave in their typical green with white pinstripes. A foul tip into the mitt, and there's 2 down. A.J. Nash, the first baseman. Nash skies it to right center field and drifting well into the gap to make the catch is Ben Jacob. And the Green Wave go down 1-2-3 in order for the second straight inning. 2-0 Pittsfield as we head to the bottom of the second. 8-9-1 hitters due up for the Pittsfield Generals. Jason Cody, Connor Devine, and Ben Jacob. Cody for his first hacks against Steve Madden, the Generals' third baseman. Looks at strike 1. High up and in. 1 ball, 1 strike. Connor Devine, the catcher. The righty looks at ball one high, and that brings Cooper out for a meeting with his pitcher. Madden missing low and away. Madden still doing battle with Connor Devine. This one's smashed out to right. A line drive falls in front of Cummings. It's a one-out single. That brings up the top of the order. Ben Jacob was hit by a pitch, the first pitch of the game, in fact. She attempted to square a bunt. Line drive, that gets through Centrella on the hit and run. Cummings bobbles in right, and there's runners on the corners. Pittsfield, most known for being the center of the American wool industry. Similar to Abington, a lot of mill buildings out here along the Housatonic River. Defensive indifference puts the runner on second on the stolen base. Jake Duquette. Madden just misses up and out of the zone. Ground ball to short. Rogers boots it, and the run scores. It's 3-0 Pittsfield. Nick Brindle hit the deep double off the wall and left. The shortstop looks at strike one. check swing. It's upstairs. Madden comes in with a nice curve. Falls into the zone for a strike. A liner into right. That'll drop in front of Cummings and score another run. Cummings tried to shoot all the way home. A nice throw, and now Cooper will throw down to first, and they've got the batter in a rundown. Now the throw to third, and there's a rundown at third to Rogers, and he applies the tag. And that's good to get out number 2. Brindle credited for the single. He ended up holding it first on that rundown, and it was Ben Jacob scoring. Duquette was thrown out at second. So now 2 away. The runner on first. This is the cleanup hitter. The throw down is not in time, and it's a stolen base for Brindle. Pitch missing low for a ball. Pittsfield hosted the first intercollegiate baseball game in 1859. Amherst College defeating Williams College. A final score of 73-32 in that one. It's a high fly ball towards Nash in foul territory at first, drifting over, and he makes the catch. But I believe out of play, so we continue. Curve misses low and away. That one gets away. The runner moves up to third. Very short field here. The baselines are grass in between home plate and first and third. Swing and a miss. That will retire the side, but Pittsfield strikes for 2 more. It's 4-0 Generals as we head to the top of the third. John Sell and Jake Centrella, Cullen Crocker do up for the Green Wave as we hit the top of the third inning here in Pittsfield, Massachusetts, which in 1791 had a town bylaw that prohibited anyone from playing baseball within 80 yards of the new meeting house in Pittsfield. We, I believe, are within that border and are currently breaking Pittsfield town bylaws. That 1791 bylaw is the earliest known reference to the game of baseball in America, and was about 50 years before Abner Doubleday was credited with inventing the game in Cooperstown, New York, which is just a stone's throw west of here. So here the lefty Sellin, center fielder for the Green Wave, looking for Abington's first hit and base runner today, as the first 6 have been retired by Cam Hilliard. Sellin, chopper to first. The flip to Hilliard in time for the out. Jake Centrella, one of the many seniors in this Green Wave lineup, along with Colin Crocker, John Sellin, AJ Nash, Henry Rogers, Steve Madden, and Pat Cummings. That is 7 of the starting 9 graduating for Coach Paraxos this year. We've seen a running trend every other year for the Abington baseball program. There's a large amount of seniors. Last year, just the one, Spencer Merrick. Before that, there was a large group. Centrella, high fly ball, second base. And the catch is made. First 8 down for the Green Wave. The lefty Crocker. Crocker grounder. That is going to hop into right field. And the Green Wave have their first base runner. Crocker heading for second. The throw in. He is not in time. Crocker has a 2-out double. Pittsfield Red Sox, the single A team of the Boston Red Sox way back in the 1960s. Hosted such famous names such as George Scott, Carlton Fisk, Rafael Palmeiro, Crocker aggressive with his lead as ball 1 thrown into the leadoff hitter, Ryan Solomini. Solomini looks to strike over the outer edge. Two-way runner on second. Salamini with 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and the Green Wave will leave Crocker stranded on second as we head to the bottom of the third. It's still 4-0 Pittsfield. Pittsfield, the home of 2 high schools, both powers in the lower divisions of the MIAA. Taconic High School won a state championship in 2017-2019. They reached a Final Four last year, as did the Abington Green Wave, making it all the way to the state championship game before falling to Seekonk out in Worcester. Pittsfield and Taconic playing in the Western Massachusetts Class B championship game at Wacona Park in 2022. That hosted a viewing audience of about 3,500 people. Ground ball, Crocker, throw on the money. 1 away. Jack able to strike out victim his first time up. This thing up and away. Bunt squared. It's ball 2. Ball 4 comes inside. And it's Abel reaching on 4 pitches. Hit and run. This one fouled off behind the backstop. Pittsfield hosted a significant moment in American history. In 1902, President Theodore Roosevelt was campaigning for the Republican candidate that year. And the vehicle he was riding in was involved in a head-on collision here in Pittsfield. With a trolley. President Roosevelt, along with Massachusetts Governor Winthrop Crane, secretary and a bodyguard were all thrown into the street. The bodyguard was killed in the incident. He was the first Secret Service agent ever killed on a presidential protection detail. As for President Teddy, his face and left shin were left badly bruised. But he almost fought the trolley motorman, Euclid Madden. Madden was charged with manslaughter, to which he pleaded guilty. It was Abel showing steel every pitch finally takes second. Curve misses outside for ball one to Jack Reed. He lined out to Rogers to end the first inning. Check swing. It's a soft grounder down the third baseline. Coach Paraxlis saying it's a foul ball. The umpire at home plate never made the call. They're going to leave it as a single. The last time we were out this way for an Abington team, it was the softball team, One Town East in Dalton, facing Wacona Regional. Wacona getting the victory in that one, but it exposed a lot of what's known around the state as Western Mass umpire bias. The throw to second hops in and out of the glove of Centrella. It's Abel back in safely. Abel takes off for third, and hit by the pitch was Reed, second hit batter for Madden. That'll send Reed back to second on the dead ball. And steps off, doesn't throw back to second. Chopper foul to the backstop. This one popped out foul. Getting a bit of a car in the street right beyond the first baseline. Ground ball towards Rogers. The flip to second for one. Centrala's throw to first is not in time. So it's a fielder's choice. Puts runners on the corners. Abington softball team. Speaking of Coach Jenna Olam's Green Wave softball team, they're up 12-1 over Lunenburg right now in their second round matchup. In run rule territory. Madden soft toss over to Nash at first. Madden the future Nichols College Bison. That's in Paxton, Massachusetts, just west of Worcester. Passed ball. The runner will hold at third, but it's Cody advancing up to second. That just misses the outside corner. That will load him up with 2. Devine on for the second time. Ben Jacob. 2 for 2, 2 runs scored. And that's going to be the day for Steve Madden. Ryan Solomini is heading in from left to take over the pitching. More on that when we come back in the bottom of the third. Pittsfield holds a 4-0 lead. Solomini, his first duty will be to face the one hitter in the Generals lineup, Ben Jacob. Chopper gets past Madden. It's short into left field. Crocker's going to try to shoot home. It's offline. And it'll be Jacob with a 2-run single into left. Advancing to second on the throw home. Makes it 6-0 Pittsfield. Cody scoring from second, and Devine held at third. Wild pitch, and another run scores. Pittsfield opening it up here in the bottom of the third. Plating 3 runs already. Ground ball. Rogers at third. Throw to Nash is in time, and that will retire the side, but not before Pittsfield adds a couple more. They lead it 7-0 over the Abington Green Wave here as we head to the top of the fourth. We here in Pittsfield for Abington Cam, we are 39 miles from the New York State Capitol building in Albany. Ground ball to third. Throw to first in plenty of time. And that will beat Cam Cooper for the first out. For comparison's sake, we're 136 miles from Beacon Hill in Boston. Pat Cummings at the plate. Strikeout victim his first time up. It's a roller to short. The throw is high, and Cummings safe at first. Second hit of the day for the Green Wave, just the second base runner. Here is Steve Madden. Madden looks at ball one low and in. Soft check over to first. Cummings dive backs in safely. Thrown out to first after the pitch. Cummings back in once again. Pitch from Hilliard is outside. Madden draws the walk, and for the first time today, the Green Wave have two runners on. This will bring a mound visit from Connor Devine. This will be Henry Rogers. Now Pittsfield's coach coming out for a word. Hilliard will remain out there. Cummings on second, Madden on first. Just one out here in the top half of the fourth. Rogers offers and swings through. Rogers looks at one low. This one bouncing well in front of the plate. Rogers sends it high to left. The catch made, and Cummings will not attempt the tag with the short fence here in Pittsfield. Here's Nash. Hilliard stepping off. Two and 0 to Nash. That one missing outside. Nash hard grounded to third. And that is where the out will be to retire the side. Green Wave strands 2 runners on base as we head to the bottom of the fourth. Solomini back on the bump for a second inning of work. Nick Brindle has hit a single and a double. He'll be followed by Maury Freed and Roshan Warrior. Solomini, the heir apparent to the Green Wave Ace title. This group of senior pitchers that Abington's had for the last 4 seasons now. Madden, Sellen, and Rogers all moving on. Foul to the backstop. Fly ball towards Cummings in right. He's under it. And there's one away. Maury Freed, strikeout victim, is for his last time up, also walked. Freed looks at a bouncer. With Solomini moving into the pitcher's mound, Madden takes short. Rogers moves from short to third, and Colin Crocker from third out to left field. And it's a walk to Freed, his second drawn of the day. Roshan Warrior, sacrifice bunt, and a ground to third. He is the number 1 of the Pittsfield pitching staff. Complete game win over Upper Cape in round 1. Ground ball. Madden grabs it on the backhand. Won't have a play. Runners on first and second with one out. Jack Abel walking a strikeout. Bunt drop down foul. Curve comes in outside. The bunt pulled back. High fly ball, mile in the air. Madden sizing it up. And he'll make the catch just in front of second base. Artist hold now 2 away. Liner into left. Crocker teeing up the shoot to home. It is offline, and now the throw to third is not in time. It's an RBI single for Jack Reed. And that makes it 8-0 Pittsfield. Pittsfield, the birthplace of Herman Melville, who is most famous for being the author of Moby Dick. Defensive indifference gives Reed second base. High fly, that'll go foul. Another one foul down the right field line. Pittsfield also the hometown of former Massachusetts Attorney General Martha Coakley. one time a gubernatorial candidate for Massachusetts. Ground ball that gets under the glove of Centrella into center. Selin sends it home. And another 2 runs score. That puts the Pittsfield lead at 10. Chopper, that gets through Centrella. Runners on first and second, still with 2 outs. Most famous baseball player from Pittsfield probably has to be Mark Belanger, the 8-time Gold Glove winner. Shortstop for the Baltimore Orioles. Hard foul off the fence. Flip to first. That will retire the side, but not before Pittsfield gets into dangerous territory. We're headed to the top of the 5th. Pittsfield up 10-0. That is the margin for a mercy rule victory. Abington's got to add a couple to extend their season here in the top of the 5th. Top of the 5th inning. Green Wave needs some runs to extend their season here. It's 10-0 Pittsfield here in the top of the 5th. And it'll be John Selin, Jake Centrella, and Cullen Crocker for the Abington Green Wave. Fly ball right field. 1 out. Here's Centrella. Memorably had a bomb of a double in last year's state semifinal, a 14-inning classic at Lasher Park in Lowell against the Northbridge Rams. Green Wave 5-1 victors in that one to send them to the state championship game where they fell to Seekonk. That, by far, going to be the longest game in Abington baseball history. 4 hours, 17 minutes, 14 complete innings. Steve Madden, a complete game no-hit shutout through the first 7 before he hit the MIAA's pitch limit. Had to be replaced by Henry Rogers, who threw 6 innings in change in relief. And Ryan Solomini actually came in to close out that game, as Centrella goes down by way of the K, and the Green Wave have 1 out left here in the top of the 5th. The lefty Crocker doubled his first time up. He'll back out of it inside ball 1. Crocker sends this one to deep right field. And that is going to end the inning and the Green Waves season. A 10-0 slaughter rule finish, and Pittsfield is moving on. Abington's season comes to an end prematurely for the 4th straight season, albeit this time not as deep of a run as they would have hoped. And that breaks the string of 3 straight state semifinal appearances for Abington as well. They finished with just 2 hits and an absolute gem fired in by Cam Hilliard. As Pittsfield will move on, the Green Wave, again, see their season come to an end here on the New York border. Final score of 10-0. I want to thank you for watching this game and every game here on the networks of Abington Community Access and Media. I want to thank our cameraman, Matt Lyons. Sorry, Matt, for bringing the sights and sounds all the way out here from 3 hours west of Abington. On behalf of our executive producer, Kevin Tachi, I'm Mad Dog Matt Nelson. We will see you next game.